Hey, you. Yeah, you. Get up and save the world. The whole world's waiting on you. Yeah, I know you're just a know-nothing kid while your neighbor is already king of the world, but you're the important one. Dare I say, the chosen one? We've all seen this trope before, and I highly recommend OSP's Trope Talk on the subject if you haven't seen it already, but video games especially fall into the habit of making your player character a chosen one, destined to save the world or defeat the great evil or whatever fills you with enough glorious purpose to go to sleep feeling fulfilled. A lot of people claim to hate this trope, and I used to be one of them. I say used to be because I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV for the past year and change, and never have I felt the visceral rush and excitement around a true Chosen One story than I did during basically all of Shadowbringers. Now, I'm going to try not to spoil too much, but if you don't want to know anything, then I respect your decision to skip to the timestamp here. Final Fantasy XIV sets you up to be the Warrior of Light. Pretty much the entire story of A Realm Reborn and a good deal of Heavensward and Stormblood involve you building up your reputation as the chosen Warrior of Light, and exploring what it means to be a chosen one. Two major themes the game sets up are that, one, even though you are a chosen one, you still need to earn your reputation as such, and two, that other characters have their roles to play too, so you don't invalidate them. Sure, I might main Dragoon, but I'm never going to be as cool as a straight-up Dragoon as a Stinian, because his Stardiver has as much potency as my full rotation combined. The entire game builds upon these themes, but it's in Shadowbringers that you truly get hit with the big guns. The only reason you're even called into Norvranch in the first place is because your legacy as Warrior of Light inspired stories down an alternate future timeline, see the twinning for more info on that. Then, once you get there, you see just how powerful an alternate version of yourself was, having destroyed all the darkness and ending up swallowing the world in light, forcing you to become a new type of chosen one, a warrior of darkness. Now, while this may sound incredibly cheesy or early aughts edgy, the game's story manages to make this point stick very well. You experience what is effectively a world without heroes, and then show up showing that you can be that hero, and your heroism then inspires others to take up the fight themselves. It's a great story that builds upon the baseline set up throughout the entire rest of the game's expansions to create perhaps the most engaging Chosen One story I've ever played, all with a mostly silent self-insert avatar protagonist at its core. However, to truly appreciate the best side of Chosen One stories, we need to look at the painful side. The self-insert coddling, Mary Sue-ish narrative warping side. The pain of a story that tries so hard to make you care, puts all of its eggs into that basket, and then ultimately succeeded in the only time I ever actually wanted to beat some sense into my own self-insert avatar. Yes, it's time to talk about Fire Emblem Fates and Corrin. The story of Fates is confusing at best. Split up between three routes with mutually exclusive plotlines and key details about character origins hidden behind DLC, Fates claimed initially to be about a family conflict. You are Corrin, supposedly middle child to the royal family of Hoshido, but raised as a kidnapped captive middle child to the royal family of Nor. And literally everyone loves you so much that they would blindly give up everything just to ally themselves with you. Except for Takumi, because apparently distrusting the person who claims to be your sibling and whose arrival ends up killing your mother and plunging your nation into war can only be caused by being literally possessed, and you have no rational reason to distrust such a person. So already, Fates is off to a great start. But before you even make a choice about any of this, Corrin not only gets chosen by the legendary Yato, a sword that can only be wielded by the one who will bring peace to the world, but also finds out they have dragon powers by going on an unstoppable berserk rampage that can only be stopped by Deus Ex Azura with the one song that solves literally all problems in the story if she sings it in the right way at the right time. The plot then goes completely sideways because there's a secret third kingdom, somehow not known to anyone despite several characters having traveled there and back in the past, with a curse stating that anyone who talks about it will disappear. And that kingdom sends invisible warriors to instigate war between Nor and Hoshido for no clear purpose, and is being led by an all-powerful dragon that may or may not be Corrin's actual father, meaning the whole birth family or raised family narrative is null and void, and making everyone proclaiming their absolute devotion to Corrin after having only two conversations with them, making even less sense than it did before. I'm jumping around a lot, and it probably doesn't make any sense, but the point is that Fate's narrative tries to make Corrin the most special chosen one it possibly can, but every new layer takes away from the world building until there's nothing left to take away from but the previously established layers of Corrin. This refusal to keep the rest of the world consistent means that rather than feeling like an incredible chosen one, Corrin feels like a dipstick who keeps getting told how awesome they are despite never actually doing anything to deserve it. So yeah, Chosen One stories can be good, or they can be outright garbage, just like any trope. It isn't if you use it, but how you use it, that makes your story good. And ultimately, what makes a Chosen One story good is one of the core building blocks of any good story, an internally consistent world that is logical and understandable. If you build up your Chosen One, you need to do so in a way that establishes them as a real hero, instead of just telling your audience how heroic they are, or how much they deserve to be doted upon. Thank you for watching this video. It's a little different from my usual fare, but I hope you indulge me a little bit of expansion into other branches as I get a feel for what I can do with the channel. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and let me know what other concepts you want to hear my lukewarm takes on in the comments down below. Until then, this is Mithril Zenith signing out. No, you can't stop Dragon Rampage and end Pokemon Possession. Almost reveal Garen, open a portal valve in a lake, and weaken the final boss with the same song. Ah, lost in thoughts, let alone go burr.